Hey, yo, good evening welcome to Blockchain Banter, episode 50. Chris, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey all, how's everything going, party people? Yeah, going good. Going really, really good.
Awesome. I see Wolf's up here as well. What's going on, Wolf? Good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Was it me or was that like the weirdest hello from Chris I've ever heard on blockchain?
I'll tell you what, do you know why? Because I've got a massive cup of coffee that's in my Wolfie's cup mug. Yeah. You can't really call it a cup or a mug. It's more like, what would you call it?
Bucket.
Yeah, bucket. Yeah.
100% a bucket.
Yeah. Yours is on its way, Levendi. So
wait, I've got a bucket coming?
Yeah, you get a bucket and a hoodie.
Nice. I can finally have a shower.
Yeah, but I want a picture of you next to that bucket.
You know what though, Wolf? It's such a perfect. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it's because it's so huge and so massive in your face. It's such a perfect marketing tool as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was exactly the intent. I made that very, 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 very deep plan for that. Exactly that. Yes.
Well, it definitely works, man. I think it's brilliant, though. I don't know if, like, again, we've got a global audience, so I don't know. But here in the UK, we've got Sports Direct, and they used to do these massive, like, oversized coffee mugs. And, like, especially builders, every single builder wanted one. Because we love our coffee and we want loads of it. But, Wolf, you've outdone them even. With this ginormous bucket, Wolfie's bucket of coffee.
I drink a lot of coffee, so I just thought it makes sense. Because I do almost 10 cups a day at the moment. So, yeah.
What, 10 of the bucket cups? Or is that
no, just 10 normal cups. No, I think that is about one.
Yeah, I think you're right. It takes me about an hour to drink this thing. And the brilliant thing about it, it really does stay warm all the way, or hot all the way down.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, really, really good. So, yeah, perfect tool for me. I love it.
And our father is the guy that does it. So he does most of the Web3 merchandise anyway. So he's got a very nice little business where if you launch a Web3 thing, he does the distribution for him because he's got all of these places lined up across the world. So distribution is easier for that. But yeah, he's done a good job.
To be fair, he has done a really good job. The merch is really, really good quality. And like I said, the cup is my favourite. You know what? I've got I'm not a hat person, but with all the merch I've been getting from other projects like yourself, from Nacho, I've got more hats than I've ever had before in my life. But I love them.
I love a hat because a hat saves me like 3 minutes in the morning because I don't have to comb my hair. So I just wear a hat today so I don't comb my hair.
I love it. Is your hair as thick as your beard?
Yeah, sort of. It's getting thinner now. So I had very good hair up until about 3 years ago when HM Revenue started talking to me. And then now I've got less hair due to them. But hopefully it comes back after fucking they die, I hope.
Well, hopefully it's tax deductible.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe if you go and you go to Turkey and get some new ones. Maybe. Yeah. My beard does well. I mean, my beard's not grey yet. It's got a few grey hairs now, but it's only started now where a lot of the guys I know my age, they all have grey beards now.
I'm looking forward to the day I'll get grey hair. I've had ginger hair my whole life. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to being a silver fox.
My one friend is a ginger, and don't be upset. Yes, I've got more than one ginger friend. And my other ginger friend, he's got red hair, and then half of his beard's gone grey. So like the middle of his beard, he's got like almost like the goatee part of it is grey, and then the rest is red. So it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, gingers have that a lot. I've noticed that a lot of gingers have that. Strange one. I'm like a day walker though, because I can tan. So I'm like I'm like the best ginger out there.
Yeah. I've got like 30% of my genes as for ginger. When I did the genetic testing, it was saying that I'm carrying the ginger gene because it's Viking. So ginger gene comes from Vikings. Like most, I think the Vikings genes is like 40 or 50% of their hair is ginger. So yeah, no, it's a very powerful gene to have. You should be proud.
I am proud. Kissed by fire, man. Plus, we can feel pain more or something. I don't know, something weird.
Yes, I remember. I read that article. You're more what was it? You're more now you feel pain less. I think that was it. Anyway,
Something I don't know.
yeah.
I can take a punch to the face really well. I know that much, so that's a good thing, I suppose.
Yeah, but you're married, right? So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh dear. Right, let's make our way round to say hello to everybody else. Gaurav, you came up next. How are you doing?
Hey Chris, hey everybody. Doing well. It's a little early here, so I was going to be a passive listener this time. But yes, I was interested in what's going on in the space. Thanks for acknowledging me, but I think I'm going to talk a little less this time, if you don't mind. A little tired.
Yeah, that's no problem, my man. What time is it there? It must be really early. I can remember last time it was early.
It is 4:06 a.m. and I just couldn't get any sleep. But I was happy to see the space was gonna come on. So but yeah, I just couldn't sleep today.
That's no problems, bro. If you go silent, we'll know you've just fallen asleep, and that's a good thing. Although I do hope our show doesn't put you to sleep.
I'm sure it won't.
Yeah, that's good, man. Thanks for coming anyway. I appreciate it. Nacho, how are you doing, sir?
I am fantastic, Chris. Thanks for asking. I love these Mondays. It is something I look forward to all weekend. But I got to admit, this weekend, it was a little hard to look forward to anything because I was trying to balance watching the fun of the charts and the market move while pretending to pay attention to my mom on Mother's Day. So it was fun.
Oh, of course. It was Mother's Day for Americans, wasn't it?
It was. Yep.
Well, congratulations.
And South Africans. Americans and South Africans. Just want to add that.
Oh, sorry, bro. I missed you out as well for both.
Can't leave him out, man.
Yeah.
No, it's really it's Mother's Day in South Africa the same day that it is in the US. Just saying.
Nice. I thought we were alone.
No. We try to choose some alliances there.
I think it's all made up anyway. I mean, you should love your mum every single day. That's what I say anyway to get out of presents.
Sounds risky to me, Chris. Over here, we got to celebrate the wives on Mother's Day too. You know, well, if they're mothers, I guess mine is. So I can't get away with that mindset.
What do? Do you like just sort of take everyone out for one meal, or do you have to do a meal like separate meals, or how does it work?
We just got together for the day. We went out and had lunch. I got flowers for both of them. I took my girls shopping last week so they could buy some gifts for their mom. And my mom loves, she's an old lady now, and she loves lottery scratchers. So me and my younger brother every year, it's just a stack of them, and she gets a whole day and a half of fun out of it.
Is that like buying XRP? Is that the same? Is that a similar sort of thing?
Yeah. I think some people call it gambling.
That's it. Yeah. Oh dear, so catty on a Monday morning or evening for me. Sorry, but no, I'm glad you've had a good weekend and spoiled your mum and your wife. So you should, and you, Wolf, as well. Sorry.
Thank you. And just, yeah, it's good to remember. I'm just thinking. I was just listening to Ashton, and I always forget that he's got all of these women in his house, daughters and stuff. And just thinking, like, how many fighting skills does this guy know? You know, is he like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu master? Does he have a black belt in karate? I was wondering about that, but yes.
None, but I can get into a catty cat fight argument really easily. I've learned from the best here.
He knows how to clean up really aggressively, but not tell us why. That's what
A learned skill. A learned skill.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Right, let's move on to the next person before I get myself into trouble. Kasway, how are you doing?
Hello there. I'm great. Nice to meet you guys.
Good, good. Glad you're doing good, and it's glad
Yeah.
glad to have you up, man. I'm excited to learn all about your proof of point of sale system that you're looking to implement.
Sure. I'm happy to explain about the project so far, and yeah, go ahead if we get started. I don't know. My English isn't so great, so I might need to repeat you guys to some extent.
Yeah, no, that's no worries, man. My English is terrible as well, so we're all on the same page here. No problem.
I thought we were talking Dutch, but okay.
Yeah, Levendi, are we good to start with Kasway?
Yeah, man, all good to go. We got Zealous Swap coming through as well, so they'll be joining the stage at some point too.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, we'll kick off with Kasway, and I'm really excited to learn about your point of sale system that you're building out on Kaspa. So what I'll do is I'll just let you talk away, and then we can get into it from there.
Okay. First of all, thanks for inviting me here in this blockchain banter space. I'll be explaining about Kasway. Kasway is I don't know if it's really the first one, but I believe because I have not yet found any DeFi application that uses this kind of solution. I believe this is the first one. Kasway is a decentralized point of sale, which is built in on top of the Kaspa network that allows you to simplify your payment. Like right now, if you have some kind of a business and you usually use like direct payment through the wallet, you have to remember all the stuff like the price of the product, and then you need to convert from fiat currency to the Kaspa currency manually, and you only have access to one wallet. You can do like telling your employees, if you have one, you cannot just do that because it would be requiring you share the private key, and Kasway allows you to do just that and more automatically, so you can perform your sales in more efficient way and more organizable way. Yeah, that's the overview of Kasway.
Absolutely love it, man, and it's certainly something that needs to be brought out for businesses, small businesses, big businesses, anything. Point of sale, such an important thing in with business, and I know Wolf, you could definitely speak on this because obviously you accept Bitcoin and you accept Kaspa at Wolfie's bar.
So I had a conversation. I was going to say early this week, but this is the beginning of the week, so late last week, with Kasway, and it's point of sale is a big thing in regards to cost and speed. That's very problematic, and crypto being so difficult with that. So if you think about Bitcoin and the scenario I painted to you once, where we had a client purchase a salon product and selecting the lowest fees, and then it took more than a week for it to arrive. So that's a bit problematic. But the thing about gas that's going to be very interesting, apart from the speed test, because I know, Levendi, I saw your tweet earlier with the cell phone guy showing that these transactions go through like in less than 3 seconds. But apart from the speed test, the cost of transactions is so low. So if you look at my retail businesses, that all the things that we sell there, we get almost a 3% charge for every transaction that goes through this. So now if you equate that over a year, this is many thousands of pounds, which you can completely eliminate with this and have it high speed, and no one can do anything about it. So yeah, it's very needed, and I'm so glad people are starting to build these types of applications within the space. We we desperately need that to move gas to a medium of exchange and actually utilize it for the technology it is. I mean, it is great as a grower, but we also want to actually use it because it is the best technology by far.
Totally agree. We've got Banana up on stage as well. Banana, did you have anything you wanted to add to this?
Yes, hello everyone. How's the good Monday with Kaz going all the way up?
Yeah, that's certainly exciting.
So I've been working with the Kasway guy Yuda. So today we have been talking because we have a talk the last week with Wolfie, and I was telling Yuda that new features needs to come, and one of them will be like you make the order on the app. Okay, so we are thinking like why not adding a feature that you can save the order to pay later, because where I live and most of the countries that I visit, we order a beer and we only pay when you go out the bar. Sometimes we drink two, three, or whatever. So we will add the feature to save the order, like a table or something, an ID for that table or for the people stands on the bar, so you will not need it to pay right away. I think that will help some of the owners of the restaurants or bars, or because that feature will work on bars and restaurants, not on simple stores. And one of big concerns that Euro has is about security and the transparency, so nothing will be showing to the employer. Imagine Wolfie creates everything, makes the setup of the Casway POS, and then it doesn't want the employer to have access to any of the wallets that Wolfie will receive, the funds and things like that. And we start talking today about an audit. So that will be important because I think this is could be a huge project in the future. It will take some time. We are looking to stable coins too, so smart contracts could help for new features. And today, some guys made a question on Twitter about if we are going to integrate the KNS domains. And Yura says, and he's right at my point, that, well, it will not work. It's not something that it's good for the project. I think it's all about, I don't think I can't remember. Well, I remember a lot, but I think it's probably Yura as his vision, because I'm a non-technical guy. I'm just helping him with social media and other things. The code is from him, so everything is from his brain. So it's not my code at all. I'm not like Ashton. So I think it's all I want to say. I hope you guys can really test and see how it works and share your ideas for future things that we can implement on the project and take this forward to something big, because we believe that this will will help a lot of uh, commerce. So thank you guys for your time, and I really hope we can see your feedback in the future.
Awesome, thanks, Banana. Really appreciate you coming up here and speaking about it. So I'm actually really interested in this because I genuinely think there's a need for it in the market. I know it's a relatively small need in the grand scheme of things because Kaspa isn't like properly adopted yet. But as adoption happens and as small businesses or big businesses start wanting to use point of sale or use Kaspa, they definitely need something integrated into point of sale. 100%. It streamlines everything, and again, it's a security thing as well. If you've got multiple stores, for example, and they're all running on one wallet, and you can't be there, you have to check that things are actually working properly. And yeah, you don't really want people having your keys or having access to be able to send money out and all sorts of things like this. So yeah, I'm really interested in the point of sale thing for this, and I've been interested in this since pretty much the beginning of Kaspa, because I think there is a big use case for it. So, for example, with Kasway, is your point of sale, is it going to be hardware or is it going to be software?
Currently, it's software, but I already have some hardware implementation implemented, but it's not ready yet. I'm still trying to figure out like what can I possibly use from the hardware itself, like maybe to generate some invoices or something like that, or connect with other services, ecosystem services like Castle Wallet. Maybe we can integrate it to Castle Wallet as the plug and play solution, so people can use Castle Wallet as their main platform to open Kasway, and it will just work like that. And they can maybe use NFC payment or etc. But at first, I was thinking about like making my own wallet, but it's too broad to me, and I think it will be better if we can share some responsibility. Like we already have wallet ecosystem right there. Why not use the existing one instead of making a brand new one, which is require some other testing? It is just redundant. So I will be focusing on Kasway itself to be more general, so other ecosystem can integrate as well. Yeah, something like that.
Perfect. The only reason I asked whether it be software or hardware is because if there was like a hardware point of sale that you were providing, I would love to see some sort of node, Kaspa node, built within them. I think that would just be awesome, and again, really help with sort of decentralizing Kaspa's network as well. And I think it's something that I may be speaking well out of turn here. Nacho or Ashton would probably have more of an idea, but I mean, putting a node into something like this into the hardware of a point of sale, is that something that's achievable, Ashton, or is that going to just add ramp costs right up?
Well, I think
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think it would increase costs because you'd need like better hardware requirements than you would for a simple point of sale. But I think there might be a bigger barrier to it than even cost or computation, because if you know, I look at something like this as like really exciting for adoption for CAS. Like we want to see as many retailers and restaurants and bars using a product like this as we can, and asking those merchants to buy a hardware system to either augment their existing card acceptance setup or replace it is a much bigger sales cycle than having software that they can, you know, download on their own device, try it out, that type of thing. When we saw, at least in the US, when we saw a lot of payments go to like touchscreens and stuff, a lot of retailers just brought in simple iPads. They'd buy something off the shelf or used and use an app to do it instead of needing to replace the entire stack that they already had built out in their store. So I think it's possible, and I agree with you that it'd be really, really cool to see more nodes, and if every point of sale system had a node or even like those businesses also ran a KS0 Pro and were mining their transactions on their node. I mean, we could get into like some things that are really exciting and cool opportunities, but from a business standpoint, may hurt the adoption more than they help, if that makes sense. But that's just my honest thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah. I personally agree with you because if we go like hardware way, we go like using hardware, we need to provide something like maybe a mini computer, so businesses need to buy the pre-built one, and it will not like providing easier access to the adoption itself. So I plan to keep Kasway running in software based, so they can just use whatever device they have and just install it maybe, and just get right into it and use it. It's more easier than having to buy all the stuff, setting up your server and running on your own nodes, etc., etc. It will be easier for the adoption itself, because I believe most of the point of sale system right now are using some kind of local network, which is they need to set up to configure the application. They need someone with IT knowledge to set it up so it works. But that's kind of complicated for smaller businesses, which is you don't always have like employees. You start small and you want something that just work and can be used. So Kasway might be providing that capability.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, when you put it like that, it does just make so much sense. I think sometimes I get well ahead of myself because I think because I'm in Kaspa, everybody in the whole world is in Kaspa as well. But yeah, no, it does. It makes sense. Just even from a business point of view, even if you were the biggest Kaspa maxi ever, it's so much simpler just to use existing hardware and just update your software to a newer thing. It's just the cost of it and everything is a lot easier. And
Yeah,
yeah,
on
sorry.
that note, Chris, I had one other thought. Sorry to interrupt you. Just it would be really cool. I'm sure Kasway has already thought about this and started kind of kicking the can around on if it's possible. But looking at like the most used point of sale systems and then packaging this as like a module that can be added to them, right? Like a lot of businesses that have gone more touchscreen and kind of modern on their point of sale systems are using like Square or Clover or one of these systems that's like a little touchscreen inbuilt device. It'd be pretty amazing to see Kasway as an app on those devices so that they can keep their entire infrastructure stack and just add a payment option.
Yeah, I mean that is literally the less friction route possible, isn't it? And when you've got as minimal barriers as possible, it just makes it so much easier to get on that sort of adoption scale there. So yeah, I mean, really exciting stuff, man. Definitely really exciting stuff. And I was going to ask as well, because have you got a testnet going at the moment or a devnet going at the moment?
Yeah, we have it running for the moment. It's testnet.kasway.xyz. I've been trying the internal testing for the mainnet release for quite a while, but I found that there's still an issue with the payment system. So which is only happen on mainnet, and I still haven't figured out what's the problem it is. So I need to postpone the release, which is before that I was scheduling like today, 12 May. But then I realized when I release it and I do some internal testing, my payment just stuck in there and there's no error logs from the this is more technical stuff, but we we got no error from the network. So I still don't know what happened, because I can like replicate it on the testnet. So yeah, it's better for me to postpone it instead of having people using it and having their funds lost, something like that. This is the reason why we postpone it. Besides about the new feature, which is Banana is have talked about the pay later. That's an addition that we will be adding before the mainnet release. But the focus is to make sure that the payment logic and payment execution goes smooth and no problem on our side and on the network side as well.
Yeah, no, totally understandable, man. And again, this is what testnets are for, isn't it? It's figuring out the little bugs that you need to sort out, and then you can go forward from there. But it's like I said, it's exciting to see, and it is something that is needed in the space. With your software, would you be able to connect sort of shop items to the actual point of sale itself? So, for example, if I went into Wolf's bar and I wanted a beer, I don't know, Kit Kat, and a bottle of champagne, is it something that you could just literally just tap, like, or an employee could just do what they do normally on a touch screen? They just tap the codes in, or what it is that I'm buying, and then it then comes up as, do you want to pay in native currency or do you want to pay in CAS? Is it something similar like that?
Yeah. So the flow is Wolfie. If Wolfie use the Kaspa application, he will need to register the product first. Like maybe for example, you got a rum and vodka. Maybe I don't know. You just register it at the price of the current fiat currency, maybe $50, and it will just convert the fiat currency to the latest exchange rate of Kaspa right now. And right now it's only available on Kaspa currency because we don't have the ability to integrate with stable coins yet. And about the fiat payment, I still thinking about it because integrating with fiat system is quite complicated steps, because we need to like establish an actual company to be able to work with maybe some other payment gateway providers. So it will be supported eventually, but for now we will be focusing on just Kaspa. The goal is to boost the adoption of the Kaspa itself, including the use normalizing the use of Kaspa as the future of digital currency. And yeah, and you can just tell your, after you register your product, you can just tell your employees to approach the customer, ask them what their order is, and just tap on the product they mention, and it will just works, and it will auto calculating the amount of the orders. And when you proceed to payment, a QR code will be displayed on their their device, so the customer can just simply scan it and proceed to payment.
Awesome, man. Absolutely fantastic. Ashton, you've got a question.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are building like a pretty robust point of sale system with inventory management and things like that, where you can put in, like you mentioned, register the different products or services you're selling or whatever it is. Do you think, or have you considered at all, just taking that information via API and just handling the payment portion of it? And the reason I suggest that or ask the question is because it's similar to what I said earlier. Like you you have a bigger barrier to entry for businesses to come in and rebuild their entire bar lineup on a new, and especially if it's a secondary point of sale system. Is it possible, or have you looked at existing point of sales that are really heavily used where maybe, they have like tax implications that a lot of these point of sale systems generate information around the taxes due in that specific country and how they kind of segregate those funds. It feels to me like it may be easier or better for adoption if you just take the total of an order from the existing point of sale system and really just be the Kaspa acceptance side of that. Is that something you guys considered at all, or maybe already are working on?
To be honest, I just I don't know. I haven't researched about it, which is which point of sale system that are exposing an APIs for us to use. I haven't found one that is available. Maybe in the future we can implement some sort of that feature. And yeah, I still need to do a little research about that. If it is even possible or not, because I at the beginning of the development of Kasway, I never thought about another point of sale that is exposing their API for public uses. I haven't figured out one, but yeah, I'll try to do some more research on that, so the usage could be simplified. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I appreciate you answering the question, and sorry to put you on the spot. I know it was kind of random thought, but yeah, it just seems like this has such potential to drive a lot of Kaspa use that I think I don't know. My personal opinion is that a faster onboarding, quicker adoption is second priority only to security, right? You got to secure users' funds, but Wolf, I'm curious your thoughts on this topic. I mean, think about using it for your business. Well, I don't know how you guys are set up at all right now for Kaspa and Bitcoin, but is it even likely that you could just use your normal computer to ring up a coffee or a beer or whatever, and then it just sends the payment to this secondary device that's sitting next to it, kind of like a credit card swipe that just allows the consumer to pay using that?
Sorry, can you repeat the last one?
I was asking Wolf a question about his business,
Oh,
but
oh well, sorry.
it's okay. It's not a big deal at all. I don't know if you heard me or not.
He's probably too busy eating Kit Kats.
No, I'm here. Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you could hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ah, so just ask the question again.
I was asking him about integrating with existing point of sale systems just to do the payment providing instead of having to load all your inventory and your different meals and stuff into a brand new point of sale. Is it like a realistic workflow that you could use existing point of sale system that already has all your inventory and pricing set up, and it just sends the total to the Kasway system so that the consumer can pay, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel to adopt it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the answer to that question is it's business specific. For me, it will be fine. But if you have a business that's got a massive amount of ones, it could be a bit more problematic. So I think configuration is going to be key here. As long as you have the ability to do both, you'll be fine.
Can I say something?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, bro.
So I'm making some search because Ashton talks about a good point. So there's a way to Wolfie. He already have his computer with all the products on the system, right? So it's possible to get the file that contains all the info about the price and the name of the products and everything, and migrate to the Kasway POS. It's possible. So it will be a less paying job, because imagine if you have more than 1,000 products, one by one, it will be a pain in the ass. If you have a file that it's possible because the POS system that works on the restaurants now, you can take that file and migrate or integrate with other POS. It's a thing that it's open source. It's not something that it's blocked or it's locked to that specific software. So it will be good. And I got the point that Ashton says that, okay, why not? Because at the end, uh, the adoption is to give people the ability to pay in cash. So why not? And we have talked this today, me and Yura. Why not? The main computer creates the order and makes everything, and then sends to the mobile device, and then the employer will only take the device, and the customer will pay in cash. I think I think that this will be a good way to make it. And there's another option where I live in Portugal. Most of the TPAs, it's an Android device, so you can run the Kasway POS on that TPA mobile. So maybe Kasway can have more than one feature. Depends on the business itself. I don't know. Maybe.
It's a good point, Banana, for sure. And your comment about the whole like export your inventory and import it to a new POS is it kind of kills the problem that I was talking about anyway. So you're right, it's not that big of a deal. And having both probably makes the most
Yeah.
sense. So cool.
I was going to say as well, Ashton, like because you were saying about having to work out taxes as well for things that you buy. Because out in America, is it true that like when you go grocery shopping, I said grocery because you're American and I'm being culturally appropriate. That
the only word. So.
But when you're going food shopping, you sort of you add up everything you've got and then you pay the tax on it after. Like you have to work out the tax of it afterwards. Is that right? It's like the most backwards way ever of doing stuff.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And that extends to basically anything that you buy in retail in America. I mean, there's a few exceptions where stores will say like, oh, tax is included, but everyone walks through any type of shopping. It doesn't matter if you're buying, food at a restaurant or a t-shirt or something. You're looking at the price and it says $20 and in your head you're like, all right, 20 plus tax. So that's like 25.
So you have to be a fucking accountant as you're going around doing the shop.
No, you just got to be an American consumer and swipe.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, but it makes a good point though. Is that something that, like the integration for Kasway, has to think about, like, and how would it do that?
I don't know if you're asking me or him.
I was asking Kasway. Is that something that's been thought about? Because obviously in the UK we don't have to think about that. That's because we're like normal people. But obviously out in America, it's insane how you have to just work out everything. Is that something that?
Well, in Portugal, I want to run away from taxes, so I will use crypto to pay.
Yeah. Say it like it is, brother. But yeah, I mean, from if you want to abide by the law as a business owner, like obviously, is that something that you have to think about with Kasway, where one country obviously you don't have to work that out? What I'm sort of trying to ask is, do you have to sort of sort the logic out for different countries?
Right now there is none. So I put a disclaimer about this project because this is crypto space. Crypto space is highly unregulated. So the legal standpoints might be different in another country, and but the point is we want people to actually use blockchain as the medium of the future payment, because it's unregulated. The point is that, so I don't know if I really need to integrate some sort of tax management system for the to follow the regulation or something like that. But the first thing I've been thinking before making Kasway is I really want to detach from fiat currency, because in my this is my personal opinion, because in my country our fiat value always drops, like it's unstable, and I really don't like it. I really don't like to use fiat at all, and I really want to be able to use crypto as our daily driver for transactions. So I'm a bit more into the future of cryptocurrency instead of following the regulation of the current fiat system, which is for me personally is too complicated, because when you come to regulation, any country have different regulation that we will need to set up
Yeah,
and follow. Yeah.
but unfortunately, most of the countries doesn't accept crypto as a payment. So this is a thing that needs to be in the future because of the legal point. So in Portugal, yet we don't have any kind of problems, but most of the people that pay on a restaurant or a bar, they pay behind the table. So there's no receipt or there's no tax on it because they will not saying that are paying crypto. Just the owner says the price and then the customer pays. So probably like in America, a lot of states they have different crypto taxes and different ways to see things, but I don't know how it really going to work on a legal way. It will be hard because will depend from country to country, I think.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
the
Sorry.
other thing here too is it's like an accounting problem. It's not actually a point of sale problem, right? Like you
Yes.
don't have to have
Yes.
all the
Yes.
taxes and everything squared away in a point of sale. Like most modern point of sale systems do, calculate that and they say, oh, this is a taxable item, this is not a taxable item, so we got to add it here and not there. But at the end of the day, from a legal perspective, it has nothing to do with your point of sale. It's exclusively an accounting, bookkeeping, legal problem. So even if the
Yes.
system doesn't support it, the business owner could put reporting activities in place to capture the data they need to comply, even if the point of sale makes it easy or doesn't.
Yeah. I agree with all the statements specified from Banana and Nacho, because if we go like following the regulatory system of many countries, it's kind of kills the point of having blockchain at first, because blockchain, the main point of using blockchain is decentralization, right? When you follow the regulation, you ends up like following an entity. You ends up being ruled by them, and you have no freedom on your assets or currency itself.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm all about trying to step away from the fiat system, 100%. But it is just something that there is still people out there that don't want to deal with that side of the thing. They're not in it for the revolution of let's down with the Fed and the fiat system and all of that. They just want to use it because they may even just want to use it as a payment rail. It's really quick, easy, and things. So, like, it is something that does need to be catered to everyone, if you know what I mean. I'm with you. I totally agree with you. But then other people obviously may not share our line of thinking. They may just be using it as the tech, as the tool that it's good for. But like you said, Ashton, it's that is more of an accounting issue than a point of sale issue. So yeah, and it sounds like that if Banana ever opened a restaurant out in Portugal, on his accounting sheet, he'd actually have had no customers at all because they'd have all paid in Kaspa. Awesome. I really, really appreciate your honesty and showing us what you're wanting to develop with Kasway. By the way, I think that's really important, and it's cool. It's like I said, like you say, it's still a work in progress, but it's good to get all of this feedback, and I kind of like building in the open, if you know what I mean. I think it's a good way to do things. So yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what you can come up with. It'd be fantastic. I can see Zealous. Has Zealous had their hand up for ages?
Yeah, it must be hurting by now, bro.
Sorry, Zealous. Apologies. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey guys.
How's things?
So first of all, I like your idea, Kasway. It's really nice. I'm on it. I haven't tried your product yet, but I would love to. So now that I know that there's a testnet version, I will be trying it maybe tomorrow. I would have some recommendations for you for the software itself. Maybe you could have like two versions of it. One which is a full-on POS system, which has like stock management, and maybe if you want also handling the tax-related stuff, and another version that only handles the payment-related side, but it has like event-based hooks. So on every step of the payment and like the entire payment lifecycle, it can be configured to call other APIs like hooks, and that would solve like maybe most of the problems mentioned by Ashton and others, because in that way, instead of you integrating with an existing POS system, and there are a lot of them, basically they can build like a module that can connect to the Kasway POS, or the community can build it. So instead of you developing for every single POS, people can do it. So that like removes a lot of development time. Also, it accelerates adoption, and also because you are sending all the info via hooks, they can their existing POS systems can handle the tax-related stuff, and that would solve like the inventory management, because if you have them on two separate systems, it's very hard to like connect to a single point and manage the inventory. So if one POS can handle that and calls the other POS to like execute the payment and then gets back to it, so only one POS can manage that inventory, and that solves like a lot of like problems with you guys discussed. Yeah, so basically that's my video.
Yeah, thank you for your insights. By the way, actually we have mentioning about this API stuff that developer will be able to use on Discord channel, where I say someday I will be decoupling the payment logics, maybe some kind of an SDK that people can use, or maybe via webhook or something. But the main point is I really want to right now only Kasway to use it to validate the idea of the current PDA implementation, which is inspired by Solana Pay. If you know about that, I really want to see how stable it is and how can I decouple it and maybe put that on a smart contract layer, or so developer can just use the SDK to connect to it and develop their app via the implementation of program derived address, so-called program derived address. And yeah, I still want to see how reliable it is before I'm releasing some kind of APIs or SDK, and that's has been on our roadmap for quite a while. But yeah, we will use Kasway first for testing and to validate the idea, and also to accumulate some funds through the service fees, which will be used to develop even further about the underlying application of the PDHF, because right now it really depends on, it's highly depends on the SDK, WASM SDK, which is not really using, it's not so close to the program derived address on Solana, because on Solana you don't have its address don't have like a private key, but in Kaspa right now it still have a private key, and we still trying to figure out how to take this private key out, and we have so very limited time and budget, and we just trying to make it as close as possible, so in the future we can replicate the same stuff that Solana has and use it on Kaspa blockchain for the open space. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Really appreciate you coming up and telling us all about it. Levendi, have we got any questions for Kasway?
There's been a few that have come through while you guys have been talking. Bear with me with the jumbotron does not really work properly on a PC. They've been messing about with it, but I've got it open here on my phone. Yes, it's an Android. No, we won't go there. Moving on. Coder of Stuff sent a message, a statement earlier when you guys were speaking about nodes. He was saying you can simply set up a node with a different machine, have your POS, then use your node in your same network. Should be easy to set the URL and fall back to the PNN.
I'm not going to pretend I know what a PNN is, but
likewise.
It's the public node program. Aspect Anton runs it or set it up, and it's I don't know, I'm going to butcher it a little bit, but it's basically just a network of nodes that are used publicly for Kaspa network. We have a couple on that program and a lot of other contributors too, Aglavale and a number of other guys. But he uses K-host in GitHub, who basically just automatically provisions and lights up a node on a server.
Awesome. So what's Coder of Stuff actually saying here then? You don't have to actually, you can already run a node on a separate software.
Yeah,
hardware. Anyway.
We were talking about embedding a node in the point of sale system when we were talking about it being hardware, and I think his point is that that's not even necessary. The business owner could literally just run a node on the same hardware they could today, and then just point the point of sale system to that node on the local network, or expose it publicly and do it public network. But I think his point is you don't need to mess about with including a node in a point of sale system, because you can just run one in the same store. It's not a big difference.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, to be honest with you. I would love to see more nodes coming online, and I'm talking from someone who doesn't run a node yet, and I need to. But I would.
Well, I know where the next one should come from.
Yeah, yeah, it will do. Don't worry. But yeah, no, it's so again. If you're a business owner, I just like the idea of, because Wolf, you do it. You in Wolfie's Bar, you've got your miners running and everything from your business, which is fantastic. But I think if you're a business owner that wants to get into using Cas, I think just setting up a node would be a fantastic way to also help secure it, or not help secure the net, but it certainly help decentralize the network, which would be massive, I think, especially if you onboard a lot more business owners. But yeah, Levendi, have we got any more questions?
Yeah, a couple more. So the next one is from Crypto J. No, he's not going at you this time. It's a really interesting statement. He's saying, consider a mobile app that talks through NFC technology, so it behaves like Android or Apple Pay. The store would then need to receive it and forward to their Kaspa wallet. It would need to tell the phone code it costs X amount of Kaspa and send to this wallet to clear payment. guess that was part of a conversation that you guys were having earlier.
Yeah, and again, another very cool idea. Is that something that could actually work?
I think yes, and we have been talking with the Castle wallet, and that will be a thing. So that will happen. The NFC payments will happen. We don't know how yet, but definitely is something that we are interesting in making that happen in the future. But like Yura says, first we need to solve some of the bugs and fix all the things that are not going so well. Because the first time that I test, the app was working a lot different from what it is now. So something has changed from the day one. I think we have been talking and changing, but yes, NFC could be a thing. And a app, well, a app probably will be a better way, but depends on the adoption. And because if you want to use on a computer with public node network, app will not work. I think I'm not really on the mining things or the nodes. So, but I think Yura, you got a Raspberry Pi with a node on it, right?
Actually, I'm using a VPS right now to run the nodes because Raspberry Pi is a little bit expensive in here. So I'm going to the most cheap possible way to run the local node on my server.
Well, that's what we like to hear. People running nodes. Everyone should run a node. But
Cool.
yeah, that seems like the first ever decent suggestion Crypto J's ever made. So congratulations. That's a first here on Blockchain Banter. Congratulations.
Save it for the roast, mate. I know you've been
You're going to
brewing.
murder me back end. I'm too scared to open the DMs.
Man, honestly, hats off to his conviction. That is proper conviction right there, if I've ever seen it, honestly. Yeah, sorry, moving on. Coder of Stuff follows up by saying asking a question, how easy is it to run a node? And then answers it himself by saying as easy as downloading KNG from Kaspa -ng.org, then run the app. That's it.
But that is assuming that the business owner has knowledge like IT stuff. They know what KNG is and they know what a PNN is, etc., etc. But in fact, not every business owner like into the crypto stuff. I mean, not into the IT stuff. They don't care about oh, I want to run a node, etc., etc. I want something that just works. I can use it right away and without having to set up the node, handling it with it is possible, but it will, I don't know, maybe tighten the scope of the adoption, which is we are targeting not only crypto enthusiasts, not only Kaspa enthusiasts, but for the people itself. Maybe my mom, my dad, or etc. You get the idea.
Yeah, I mean, adoption will happen in loads of different ways as well, for different reasons for different people. So it's baby steps, isn't it? Really, like if a business owner wants a point of sale software for and they want to accept CAS, then again, potentially you could use Kasway. Some people don't own businesses or don't have a need of a point of sale, but they want to get into Kaspa for other reasons, and they maybe like IT and like Coder of Stuff said, it's actually quite a simple process. You just need the hardware to do it, and that's actually my struggle, to be honest with you, as just a normal non-IT person who works with his hands. I don't think I've got the proper hardware to be able to do it, because my laptop's just a cheap little laptop, because I don't really need a laptop for my everyday businesses. So I just have a cheap one that probably does. I don't even know how much storage or anything this pumps out. It just has a lot of nacho stickers on it now, but that's about it. So yeah, like for me, I mean, I could try and run a node on this thing, but it'd probably crash. I don't know. So again, it's just one of those sort of hardware requirements. And then I was looking at, okay, maybe I'll just get a Raspberry Pi and do it through that. But I don't. Is it right now that a Raspberry Pi, now that we've moved to 10 blocks per second, probably wouldn't handle a node now? Do we need to go a bit beyond that?
Hopefully we get another Coder of Stuff comment on this question, because I think I was the one that put that thought in your head that the Raspberry Pi wouldn't work anymore. And I feel like that's accurate, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I didn't want to put the blame on you, Ashton. You sort of dropped.
It's okay. I felt it, and I had to just take it. You know, you just own up to some things.
but that if Coder of Stuff, if you're still listening, that is a good question. Would a Raspberry Pi still be efficient enough to run a node on for Kaspa now that we've moved up to 10 blocks per second? Actually, Coder of Stuff wrote a fantastic article, another one on for Medium, on a Medium article, about sort of what the impact of 10 blocks per second has had on the wider network now. And again, when new cool stuff happens, other problems may arise, and it's just part and parcel of growing, isn't it? It's the growing pains of things. But I think one of the problems was that you Coder of Stuff really sort of saw was that I think some of the smaller ASICs were struggling, or weren't running at full capacity, basically, because they were struggling with the workload that they were getting. I think I'm saying the right words. I don't know. I hope the terminology is right here. But basically, that's the gist of what I got of it anyway. But I think, again, I wish Coder of Stuff was actually up here. But I think, was Coder of Stuff working on a Stratton bridge, a new Stratton bridge to help with this, or does anybody know?
He put out an X post, and I think it was a repost of Aglavale's, or it was similar to, and I just recognized the similarities. I don't know who's 100% behind that. It might be him, and others, group effort. But there was version 1.03, I think, of the Stratum that solved some problem that came out. So you're not crazy. There was a tweet about it.
Thank God. It's okay, but yeah, I'm quite proud of my craziness. But
well,
yeah, no,
he's replied. Sorry, I'm just pinning up right now. I think with exact specs of what you'd need, the very minimum, I would guess. I'll read it out. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, not anybody else up here. But he's saying 16 gigabyte RAM, 6 or 8 core CPU, 256 gigabyte disk is what you need. It will work with slightly lower specs.
I wonder if this little shitty laptop would do it then. I think I might give it a go. If it blows
Somebody else has said Dreamcatcher 69. What a great name and number, I might add. But they have said, I have my basic HP laptop. And if you know laptops, HP can be quite fucking atrocious. I have my basic HP laptop running a test, netnode and main netnode simultaneously.
Yeah, Chris, on the Raspberry Pi thing too, now that we know those exact specs, I pulled up, I just quickly Googled, so it could be wrong, but Raspberry Pi 5, I think, is the latest version. And it does have up to 16 gigs of RAM. For a Pi, you can always attach any amount of storage that you want to. So the storage doesn't really matter there. You're just looking at buying an extra SSD or something and connecting. I don't know how many cores they have, but it sounds like the highest end Raspberry Pi is like right on the bubble of it probably will work, but we're maxing it out. It's kind of how I'm reading that.
And there's also another message come from Coder Stuff regarding the Stratton Bridge. He's saying that we're collaborating on the same Stratton Bridge with a smiley face, PB Farmer, Aglavel, and meaning himself.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. Because if you've read the Medium article, at the very end he says like when problems arise, new problems arise, it just is a void that needs to be filled, and hopefully other people will fill those voids. And it's good. I mean, Coder Stuff seems to be everywhere of doing stuff like this, which is fantastic. To be honest with you, Kaspa's massively fortunate to have someone like him developing on it. So yeah, I mean, could you imagine me trying to develop on Kaspa?
God, stop it. He's still after iPhones, man. Really, we don't need to go there.
Actually, I wonder what he had. Last question, Coder of Stuff. Do you have an iPhone or an Android?
Oh, God. Oh.
And only answer it if it's an iPhone.
Yeah, don't pin it up. Don't pin it up if it's
You will
Android.
definitely boost my ego if you've got an Android. I'll tell you that much.
What if he says he's got both?
God, now you're talking. I don't know what I do. But real quick, we had somebody else ask a question throughout your conversation with Kasway. They were asking about buying or getting their hands on Kaspa accepted here stickers for their business.
So the best way to do it, I think, would be to approach Chad, or Rubarbarian, as people know him, because I'm pretty sure he'd have the print files for that, and then all you'd have to do is, obviously, once you've got the vector files, you can send them to the printer, and then they can sort it out for you from there. So I'd imagine it's probably best to reach out to Chad Ballantyne, aka Rubarbarian, if you wanted to get hold of them. He's in Discord, TG, X. So yeah, that would be the best way.
He's a proper Chad, isn't he? Bloody hell. Real quick, I know, Nacho, you've got 10-15 minutes. I just got to quickly express my sadness at Coder Stuff's latest reply in the space below. He's an iPhone Maxi, unfortunately. I'm quite sad to be hearing that. I'm going to mute away and cry in my corner while we hear some updates from Nacho.
It's because he's intelligent, Levendi. Right, go ahead, Ashton. I know you've got quick things.
No, it's totally fine. That's the perfect thing to happen right before I talk. I love it. Thank you, Coder of Stuff. That is amazing. Yeah, I got to run and pick up my kids from school, unfortunately, today. But real quick, I wanted to give an update on Moonbound. The smart contracts for the platform are done, and they are officially in audit as of today. Zealous and us work together on finding a good auditor. Hopefully, I'm not stealing Lewis's thunder on his announcements with Zealous, but they're officially going through. So we're really excited about the progress, and I think this week we are going to have an official demo out and all of the documentation for it. On the doc side, we're essentially done. I'm just dotting I's, crossing T's, making sure it's 100% accurate and presented the way we want it to. And in terms of the demo, our developers on the team are working on some final touches to the front end just to make it a little bit more interactive and kind of fun to use. But in terms of core functionality, we're 100% there. So it's really exciting, and I can't wait to tell everyone who the auditor is. I'm sure Zealous Lewis feels the same way. As soon as those reports come out and they're done, I think we're planning on sharing that information. But it's an exciting milestone. Smart contracts are officially being audited today.
Absolutely fantastic. And I assume if all the audit goes well, literally Moonbound is ready to just click go when the roll-ups come out, or the L2s come online.
Yep. 100%, exactly. And we've approached the development that way to make sure core functionality is there, security is covered, all of what we need to launch is there, and it gives us a really cool opportunity where we can get creative and expand what we can do if L2s are not, next week, right? Once this audit's done, we have these. I think they set the plan as towards the end of May timeframe in terms of those audits, the next couple of weeks. But we've got the time that the L2s give us to make the product even better. So we're not going to sit on our hands and just say, hey, we're done. When are you guys ready? We're going to keep adding features and fun interactions with the front end and things like this to to make it a better product on launch.
Absolutely fantastic, man. I'm really, really looking forward to Moonbound. I think it's going to be such a force of good for the whole ecosystem, to be honest with you, especially with what you're planning to do, if all goes well, obviously, step by step. But yeah, it's really good news that you are literally there, ready to rumble when we have L2s implemented.
It's exciting times for sure.
Ashton, sorry, real quick before you go, man. I've got a couple of questions. I've one quick question. I got hit up earlier on while I was at work. Where to go about getting the merch? You guys are speaking about merch on the timeline. Somebody hit me up asking where to find them, but I couldn't answer them. I was at work at the time. But since we've got you up here, perfect place to drop the info.
Yeah, absolutely. So the URL is a little bit lengthy. If you are familiar with the Cat Power website we built to check how much staking power your NFTs have, all you need to do is add /catclaim to that. But it's also in that tweet. You can click directly to it. But we've partnered with Chris Hutch and his brother Tom from Rock the Kaspa to actually fulfill this merch. And I mean, hats off to them. They're doing an amazing job. And even on the back end with helping us with, you know, little technical issues with a coupon code or something like, I mean, they're just fantastic people to work with. So whether you've got cat claim NFTs or not, definitely go to Rock the Kaspa, check out their merch. It's pretty cool stuff. But you can click into that tweet. You basically just have to send in your cat claim NFT to prove that you are who you say you are. And then you're getting a discount code, which will mark down your merch pack on Rock the Kaspa to 0. All you've got to cover is your local shipping cost.
Yeah, and it's absolutely awesome working with Nacho as well. The community is fantastic, especially because there was a little we couldn't stack the coupons at one point, but the community were absolutely just fantastic with it and understanding. And yeah, it's cool to work with you guys anyway. You've done massive stuff for the space, so yeah, it's a privilege for us, definitely.
The feeling's definitely mutual, brother. So thank you, and pass it along to Tom as well.
Yeah, well, we should be listening to the space, but he doesn't care about me, does he? So sod him. No, I'm only joking. Tom is an absolute, in all honesty, Tom's an absolute trooper. He is the brain to our outfit. I'm just the mouth, and but he's a brilliant guy. He's and a lot of effort has gone in from his part for this this collab we've done with Nacho and their NFT claim. So yeah, big shout out to Tom. Not that he's going to hear it because he's not here, so sod him again. But yeah. Awkward silence. There it is. Levendi, that was your cue to ask the next question.
Mate. Jesus Christ. Why am I hearing myself? Can you what the fuck?
Android user.
My
no
goodness
wonder,
me.
no wonder Coder stuff uses iPhone.
I was getting rugged. No wonder there was an awkward silence. Holy moly. What's going on, man? Elon, behave yourself, mate. Just in time as well, Tom has come out of nowhere with a reply saying, I am listening. Tell me more about how brilliant I am, he's saying.
Typical. One time he decides to tune in, it's when I'm talking actually nice about him. Oh, God. Levendi, any more questions for Ashton, because he is on a time crunch?
No, none have come through. You've answered very, very nicely there. I think the person that asked me the question was in the audience, so I hope you heard that. If not, go into the Nacho Discord and bother Chris. I'm sure he'd love to answer you. I think Zealous, they've raised their hands. Have you got a question for Ashton and Nacho before they go?
Yes. So Ashton, if you have time, would you want to explain the Natural Infinity Pool?
Yeah, sure. I can definitely do that. Help correct me on the technical side when I'm wrong, because you guys built it off of your Infinity Pool, and I have not seen the code myself. Well, I have seen the code, but I haven't built it myself for the Infinity Pool, so I didn't go through a lot of logic understanding. But generally, it's a one-sided staking pool that operates very similarly to the concept of infinity pools that we've seen on other chains. So there's no like impermanent loss risk, or you're not actually providing liquidity to trading. Essentially what you're doing is depositing Nacho tokens and getting a derivative in exchange, and I believe it's going to be called an X Nacho token. And your X Nacho token represents your stake in the Infinity Pool. So, you know, if you have 100 users with equal stake, everyone's got, you know, 1% of that pool. As more Nacho tokens are added into that pool, which come from the 10% Moonbound revenue share, the value of your X Nacho compared to the Nacho itself is increased. So, you know, if that pool was to double, you would now all of a sudden have 2 times the amount of Nacho when you withdraw. So it's a claim on demand system. So you don't have anything locked up for a long period of time. It's all under 100% your control. But if you deposit or stake the Nacho tokens, you have a proportional claim to all of the Nacho that's in that Infinity Pool. So once a week from Moonbound, they'll take that 10% revenue share, swap it from KAS, since all Moonbound fees are collected in KAS, swap it from KAS to Nacho, and then deposit it in that Infinity Pool. So this creates auto compounding as well. If you don't claim every week, your interest in that Infinity Pool just increases, and you have a larger claim in the future. So you can claim as often as you want. Moonbound revenue will be deposited in that Infinity Pool once a week. No impermanent loss risk, no liquidity providing. It's just simple one-sided staking to share in revenue from Moonbound. How'd I do, Lewis?
That's 100% correct. So the Infinity Pool is designed to always, the exchange rate between Nacho and X Nacho will always increase. It cannot decrease. So basically it starts like on an exchange rate, 1 Nacho for 1 X Nacho. So let's say we have in the pool 10 Nacho and 10 X Nacho in circulation. Once, let's say, Moonbound deposits like 10 Nacho in rewards for the pool, so you will have now 20 Nacho and 10 X Nacho in circulation. So now each X Nacho worth 2 Nacho tokens. So it can only go up. It cannot go down. And people that enter the pool, they enter at the current exchange rate, which keeps the exchange rate stable and increases when rewards are added. So it's a legal way to like distribute tokens to like your community. Yeah, and it's a way for the Nacho ecosystem to reward their loyal holders.
Yep, exactly. And just to add on a little bit of clarity in terms of the Moonbound revenue share, that's just one of the 3 methods that you see on the Moonbound site. So if you look at the workflow, little flow chart on the moonbound.gg, you'll see how that revenue distribution happens. And essentially the vault is a smart contract. So everything that all the fees that are captured on Moonbound are always instantly deposited in this vault contract. And once a week, that vault contract will pay out 4 separate payments. The largest chunk, 70%, will go to Kaspa Alliance for Transparency, the foundation that we've always talked about building since last year that actually is officially incorporated now. So that was a fun activity or achievement last week that we had. And then the 3 others are the revenue share distribution. So 10% of those go back to the projects or the wallets that deployed tokens on Moonbound based on the volume of trading on the Moonbound platform. So these will be fixed term lengths, right? They're a little bit dynamic based on when the token graduates, but the project will only receive revenue share while trading on Moonbound, right? Once they graduate, they won't capture any of this revenue share anymore, and it'll be delegated to the other projects that are still trading on this. That second category, and all these are equal, they're 10% each. The second category is the NFT stakers. So these folks that stake Nacho Cat's NFTs on the Zealous platform will share proportionally in 10% of that Moonbound revenue. And then this Infinity Pool is that final category that we talked about. So, you know, none of this here replaces something else or changes any direction. It's just a little bit more detail on the Infinity Pool because it was a newer development or a newer thing that we started talking about. So you still got the three avenues of revenue share, and 2 of them are focused specifically on Nacho community, the NFT holders and the token holders.
So good, man. And I know you've got to go, but what I really like is that we've been doing this show for nearly a year now, I think, and like you've obviously been here from the start. We didn't know each other at all. This is how we met, through Blockchain Banter. And what's really cool is you've been talking about this in Nacho, like your roadmap and as you've grown, how you wanted to grow out. And what's really nice is seeing all of the stuff that you wanted to implement on Nacho now coming to fruition. And it just seems like everything's going really, really good. Catpool's fantastic. I'm using that at the moment, and I'm really impressed with that. You've obviously now got this Moonbound, the Cat Alliance that is going to spawn from that as well. It's just, and there's obviously other things as well. I think basically it's awesome to see, man. I'm glad you are where you're at the moment, and looking forward to the future.
Thank you, Chris. Man, I think about that first Blockchain Banter show a lot, and it's a meaningful milestone and something that I didn't realize was going to be a milestone at the time, you know. So meeting you guys, being a part of this, and just the warm reception from the community of us being celebrated for doing anything is kind of I guess surprising at first, and now just really, you know, consistently humbling. And I love Catpool. It's fantastic, and it's a great mining pool. It's open source, but we've still got work to do. You know, not everything is cupcakes and rainbows. We started this with very little experience and just a lot of grit and determination, and I think we've done a lot of good things with that, but it's far from perfect. So just keep calling us out on things that you see wrong so that we can fix them.
Mate, I've got to add, you guys' growth as individuals and as a project as a whole has been incredible to witness, to say the least, man. It's been awesome watching things unfold and discussing things from alpha to fruition. Honestly, I just got to say, it's been awesome. You and everybody else that joined our show and told us what they were going to do and build really, really has been awesome. The last, 5 weeks away, almost a year. 5 weeks away from a year, man. Bloody hell. I still not set in stone. It's been cemented in my head yet that it's been a year.
No, yeah, it's crazy. It feels like it was a couple months ago for sure. But yeah, thank you guys very much for the support, for the kind words, belief, and Lewis, sorry I can't hang around for your part of the talk here, but I'm about to get a call from a principal. So have a great day, guys.
Have a good one. See you later, Ashton.
Bye.
Bye. And with that, good segue to move on to Zealous Swap and your updates. How are you doing?
So hey guys, we're tired. It's very late for me, and for the past 2 weeks have been like stressful, development wise, and we've been preparing for the audits, and that took a lot from us. So yeah, we've been working like 16 hours per day for the past like 2 weeks, and but now things are much better, and they are all coming together. So yeah.
Awesome, man. And are you on? I take it you are on both DevNets now for Casplex and for IGRA, and you're building out your systems there for both of them. Is that right?
Exactly. So we've tested the DEX on the Casplex DevNet and also on the IGRA DevNet. They are good. They are really good solutions. But our public testnet is on the Kairos chain because we don't have yet public faucets for IGRA or the Casplex. So we need that so people can get gas fees and try the DEX. But once they are there, we can launch an incentivized testnet, and everyone can start testing it. So we've been actually preparing for that. We've been upgrading our infrastructure. We changed the entire backend system, and we've hired a team of pen testers. They are a local team. We know them from before. They are our friends, and they will be helping us like hammer the backend for the next month while the audits are ongoing. So yep.
And there's that word, the audits. are you going to release who is actually auditing Zealous Swap and also Moonbound?
Yeah, so basically, the Nacho team and us, we spoke to one of the biggest auditors. They audited like 3 of the top 5 protocols. So so we got a deal with them. So we're auditing both Zealous Swap and Moonbound with them. Once the audits are in, they actually started today auditing our platforms. Once the results are in, we will share it.
Fantastic. Please, please, please don't be Certic. That's all I'm saying. Just don't be there.
No. They have a 0 track record
Thank
of
fuck for
actual
that,
hacks.
man. I'm so sorry. I had to unmute just to say that. Chris, well done for asking that question, man. Honestly, thank the fucking Lord.
Yeah.
We could see how
So
many transfers per second you could do. That's for sure. But exciting stuff, man. Definitely.
Yeah. We wanted to go for a very reputable auditor because, like, at the end, we are like one of the first protocols, so we need to make sure that everything is smooth and secure. Yeah, as the Kaspa community deserves.
Definitely safety first, always. Especially with new products that are coming onto market, definitely need the safety to be there. So it's good to see that you guys are thinking about that and taking it seriously. I mean, for Zealous Swap, you guys have done incredibly well, actually. For obviously not just building out, you're building out, and it's really good. And it seems that you keep thinking of new things to come out with. It's sort of like Ashton was saying with Moonbound. They're pretty much ready to just press go after the audits, and then that's it. Moonbound's up and running. But if there's time while these layer 2s are still being built out, he's going to, or say the team are going to keep building out different things, different concepts, maybe. And it just seems to be what you're doing with Zealous Swap at the moment. Because I've noticed about your farms that you're doing, your farm pools and things like this. It seems like you're already growing out before you've even started, which is obviously a good thing.
Yeah, so basically with all the features that we are adding, we are trying to find ways that would attract like people outside of Kaspa, coming from other chains, from other DeFi ecosystem. We wanted to be like attractive to them, so that will increase adoption, and we are finding ways that we can like release our token without like hurting the early supporters. Instead, we are finding ways to benefit them. So the tokens will be released through farms and infinity pools for the next 8 years. And that would also incentivize bootstrapping liquidity into the protocol and locking liquidity into the protocol. By locking, I'm not meaning like we have locking periods. No, we don't do that. But like it will encourage like liquidity providers like to farm and earn on top of the trading fees like ZAL emissions, and those can also be stacked again in the infinity pool and earn more ZAL emissions on top of it. Basically for the audits, the farms are included in this audit, but we are already working on new features that are not included in that audit. So we might actually go for 2 audits. One for all the features that will be in our next beta, Open Beta 4, which will be released this week. But after that, I think we might go for another audit for next features. So yeah, each time we sit and think, we are coming up with new features. So yeah.
Well, that's very transparent of you. I think that's very good. Because you could have just said, yeah, the audit includes everything, but you didn't, which is good. Good to see. But yeah, like you said, you constantly thinking of new things to do. You're going to have about 4 or 5 audits to do before you go live. But so with regards to the farming pools that you're doing, if I can just see if I've got it correct. So people obviously put in their pairs for the pools that they want to put in. They get an LP token back, and then there'll be farms available, different farms as well, that they can put into their LP token that they hold. They can put into one of your farms, and then they'll earn ZIL back from it. Have I got that right?
Yes, that's 100% correct. So when you provide liquidity into a pool, so the way that pool knows that you own that liquidity, it gives you like LP tokens, which you can consider them as receipt tokens. Once you want to get out the liquidity, your liquidity from the pool, you give it back the LP tokens, it burns them, and it gives you the amount of both tokens that are in the pair that you have. So a way to like incentivize like keeping liquidity into the protocol even when like market downturns and other scenarios is to provide additional reward on top of the fees that you earn from providing liquidity. Is to create ZIL emissions. So we created farms so we can stack deposit those LP tokens into the farm, and the farm will give you ZIL emissions based on your share and the farm share. In that way, like we can add more ZIL to the supply, so we can release the tokens that are locked, but in a way that is rewarding our actual users instead of us just selling them or just like giving them away. So that would act as a way to reward actual users and not dilute the token price.
Awesome, and it's actually quite a clever way to incentivize people to want to add liquidity anyway in the first place, if they think that there's another perk that can be used with the LP tokens they get back as well. Is that one of the sort of strategies you use to try and get people from other chains over to Kaspa as well?
Exactly. So like most DeFi users want to chase, most of them chase yield. So the higher the yield and the more opportunities there are, it can be very attractive to other ecosystems. And once like people start coming in and the demand for tokens on Kas rises, everything rises, like the rewards, the APRs, the more trading that happens, and it's like a wheel that the more fees you are generating, the more you are earning, the more people it will attract, the more people that come. The more fees that there will be, the higher demand for KRC20 tokens will be, so their price will go higher. So yeah, you can think of it like a wheel. So yeah, that would be very attractive to other people coming from DeFi users coming from other chains. And on top of depositing your LP tokens from into farms and earning ZIL emissions, you can take those the ZIL that you claimed, and you can add them to the ZIL Infinity pool, and you can earn ZIL on top of that also. So like it's a three-way yield, and it's very attractive. Like you can get APRs up to 200%.
Yeah, I mean that certainly will have people's eyeballs on it for sure, which is good. It's another part of adoption, isn't it? It's getting people to come over because they see the nice APY or the APR that they're getting, but then it actually gets them to use Kaspa, which is fantastic, and then hopefully that really does open their eyes up to how incredible Kaspa is. So yeah, it's a good way to it's a good strategy, certainly. I was going to say as well, so for the beginning, I'm assuming obviously the LPs are going to be like, say, Wolfie's token, for example. We get Wolfie Kas pair. Is that what it's going to start off with? And follow-up question to that is, when eventually we do get stable coins on Kaspa, will that revert to Wolfie USDT, for example?
Okay, so basically, creating pools and unliquidated pools is completely permissionless. Anyone can create any kind of pair. So yeah, at first we won't have stable coins. So the most logical pairs would be like a token paired with Cas. And we actually are buying like from the top KRC tokens, KRC20 tokens. So we can ourselves also provide liquidity into the protocol, and we will pair them with Cas at the start. Once stablecoin come, we will try to shift some of that liquidity into pairs, into like a token and a stable pair. But also people can do that. So yeah, but at launch we will have it paired with Cas. We actually bought like 9 out of the top 10 tokens in quantities. We've been buying them for the past 2 weeks. So yeah, those will be added to the protocol at launch, so everyone can have more liquid pairs and a better trading experience.
You know what? I am so looking forward to a DEX on Kaspa. Like genuinely am looking forward to a DEX. Inscriptions and everything were brilliant, and the marketplaces are brilliant, and it gave a lot of people and projects time to sort of develop and grow. But it does put a lot of people off that sort of marketplace feeling. And I get it. Like I said, I like it. I'm trying not to slam marketplaces. There was a place for them, and it was a needed. It was certainly needed because of like obviously inscriptions. But moving over to sort of smart contracts and having a DEX now, I really do think it's going to just not only help Cas in general or Kaspa in general, but it's really going to help these projects that have worked their asses off to make decent projects with really just, I'm trying to put it in a right way that's not going to be slagging things off, but just it's quite a hard place to come from with inscriptions, because of that sort of barrier of entry for a lot of people, and there are barriers there to even sort of do peer-to-peer trading and things like that. A DEX is just going to really streamline that, and I think it's going to help a lot of these projects out a lot, to be honest with you. So I really am looking forward to a DEX, and I'm looking forward to Zealous going live as soon as oh well, that's actually a point. When L2s come online, are you literally just going to press the button to go, or are you going to wait a little bit to see how the L2s react, or what's your sort of game plan there?
Yeah, so first of all, the current marketplaces, they really did a very good job at the limiting stuff they had. What they built is really awesome. I use them. I use Kaspa.com and Kasperbot a lot, and it's been one of the places that we've been buying most of the KRC20 tokens. But the issue we were facing is that like there's not that much liquidity, and each time we buy, like the price skyrockets. So yeah, DEXs would solve that issue. So we ended up doing OTC deals because the quantities we were buying from those tokens, it's just impossible not to like to buy them and not to make the price like go 100+%. So yeah, yeah. I forgot your second question. Sorry.
I actually forgot it as well, so don't be sorry. Levendi, can you remember?
No, but I was gonna say an earlier point that you was making. I've been trying to save this in my head. This statement, because what you said about DEX is now combine that with EVM, and that just really opens the door to a lot of builders, a lot of developers that can actually utilize Kaspa properly.
Yeah, and easy for them to port over as well, which is just fantastic. And yeah, I remembered my question now.
Yeah, same.
About are you going to be ready to rumble as soon as an L2 goes on live, or are you going to leave it a little bit of time just to see how the L2 reacts?
Okay, so this week we will be releasing Beta 4. Beta 4 has every smart contract in it being audited now. So when the audits come, we are just basically ready to launch. We can't just press a button and launch. We need like 2-3 hours because we've developed custom indexers. We need to set those up and to get them in a functional state for the mainnet. Other than that, we need to like move the liquidity through a bridge, that all the liquidity that we bought through a bridge. So to create the pairs and we need time for that. We also need to initialize the infinity pools, the natural infinity pool and the Zeal infinity pool. We also need to configure the farms. The entire process needs like 2 to 3 hours. And we need also to configure our discount manager. Yep. So basically, we need 2-3 hours in short.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough as well. There was another question I was going to ask, but it slipped my mind again. I think it's because I'm getting tired, although I can't really speak because you are you probably are really tired. I can see Gaurav's got a question. This should be a good one.
Hey guys, sorry if this is a newbie question. It's definitely an invigorating conversation. We've been talking about DEXs, so here's my newbie question. Are we talking about decentralized exchanges for tokens on the Kaspa network, or are we talking about cross-chain exchanges?
No, it will be a DEX on one of the Kaspa layer 2s. You will be able to bridge tokens from the layer 1 to the layer 2, and you can trade those tokens on the layer 2 through our DEX or any other DEX that will be on that layer 2. Basically, yeah, that's it. So layer 2s will support EVM smart contracts. And it will open a lot of possibilities, like other projects from other chain can migrate to Anycast layer 2. Like most of the developers develop on the EVM. It's the biggest. So the possibilities are limitless.
That clarifies a lot. Thank you for that. Has anybody thought about implementing some of the DEXs that go cross-chain, but retain the decentralized nature of the exchange? So I'm not talking about, for example, anything like let's say people wanted to come in from Bitcoin to Kaspa, not wrapped Bitcoin or S Bitcoin or L Bitcoin, but actual native Bitcoin to Kaspa using real decentralized cross-chain exchange. Are there any projects that are tackling that problem?
Okay, so basically it's very early for that, for this kind of like exchange. And anyway, if you want to swap from a chain to another chain, it would be through a bridge. But you'd have a wrapped version of, let's say, Bitcoin on that bridge, on the cash layer 2, because you cannot like move the native Bitcoin to the layer 2. You can create a wrapped version.
But as you know, bridges have their own issues. It's not as bad as wrapped coins or tokens, but they have their issues with the bridge operators and some of the flaws related to that. The reason why I ask is I'm actually very happy that the community is so passionate about being decentralized. There is a technology that is the best, I would say, so far, solution to swapping tokens in its native form. One of the telltale signs that a technology is not using a native form swapping is if they have some sort of a prefix before the token name. So, for example, wrapped Bitcoin has WBTC, S Bitcoin, there's SBTC, and those are not really swapping native to native, but Thorchain is doing pretty well, and they do native coin to coin or coin to token swapping. I'm wondering whether that would be a direction to look into to see whether we can integrate As with Thorchain so people can swap native BTC to Kaspa or native Ethereum to Kaspa. And I say this especially right now because I am not a Bitcoin maxi, as I've said before, but a lot of the people that I talk to and my close friends are. They've been in the industry for a while, and they've been kind of interested in my interest in Kaspa, so they were looking for ways to purchase Kaspa. And I know right now a lot of centralized exchanges haven't really integrated Kaspa, like the big ones like Binance and Coinbase, etc. And I think they were using Kraken, I believe. Kraken, or I don't know which exchange they used. But it would be nice if there was a decentralized way for them to get in, because that's what they would prefer. I think they probably bought some amount. I do see some price fluctuations, which is usually an indication that some of them might have gotten in. But yeah, I think it might be a good thing to look into. There's so many things to look into right now, but hopefully somebody in the crowd that's listening to this will look into some sort of a technology where there's an interchange swap, decentralized way using Thorchain or something, and integrate Kaspa with that. I think that would be a great addition, at least in my personal opinion.
Well, like you said, it certainly help people that do truly value decentralization and their own native tokens. So Bitcoiners, for example, and if they're avid Bitcoiners, wouldn't want like you said, a wrapped version. So if there was a way to sort of swap them natively together, that would be fantastic. And I've certainly did read about Thorchain ages ago, but I've forgotten really how they went about it. But yeah, they've always been on my radar, definitely. Again, I may be talking absolute bollocks now, but with these layer 2s that are coming online, again, this is something that I've just been learning about, so I'm certainly not well versed in it. But there's something called atomic composability, atomic composability. Composability. Thank you. And basically, it means that it's like, from what I gather anyway, and again, I may be wrong, so please correct me, anyone, if I am. You can sort of do multiple steps of a transaction in one transaction. So if you wanted to buy something, you could, if you wanted to swap to a different token and buy something all in one transaction, you could do that. Now, again, I don't know if that would involve having to use, in this example, wrapped Bitcoin to be able to do that. Does anybody here know anything more on that, or is that something that could be done natively? I'm guessing it wouldn't, actually. The more I'm talking, I'm guessing it wouldn't be able to be done natively. But yeah, if anyone has any more insight on that, it would be good to hear from. Maybe I just am making things up. I don't know.
By the way, I had a question for the audience. What centralized exchange would you recommend with enough liquidity or good enough liquidity to buy Kaspa? Right now, it seems Kraken is the top one. Is that correct?
Yeah, Kraken's a good one to use. You could also use MEXC. A lot of people have mixed feelings about MEXC, and I think actually at the moment they are still doing wallet maintenance.
In quotation marks.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I saw something that they were blaming the network or something, which is ridiculous.
Well, that is ridiculous, because
Yeah.
the network's absolutely fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's again, I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no that they're doing shady shit. I'm not sure, but this happens fairly often where they all of a sudden do wallet maintenance. Whether they're doing rehypothecation of people's funds, I don't know. It's possible, maybe, but I don't know. It seems strange to me, but they do have deep liquidity. So yeah, Kraken would probably be my first bet. Mexi probably my second.
Somebody in the audience suggested Tangem. They said they're having good luck with Tangem. Crypto J says Kraken very solid and cheaper than Mexi on withdrawal fees. We Jesus came in there saying he buys his cash with Mexi. Withdrawals can be an issue when they hold them from time to time, but otherwise the best LP for big movers, in his opinion.
Yeah, we've also got because you can do swaps as well. I use Simple Swap quite a lot. Again, that's a way to sort of do what you're saying, where you could send real Bitcoin to Simple Swap, and then they'll send you real Kaspa, native Kaspa, back to the Kaspa wallet that you give them. But and I'm not going to say a but. Actually, I actually really like Simple Swap. They've been nothing but good for me. The only caveat I'd put to that is sometimes I have had to wait like 2 hours for the Kaspa to come back, and it always seems to happen when it's a fairly big sum of money that you're trying to swap, and yeah, so that can be scary sometimes. But I've never actually had an issue where they haven't paid. So again, it's not ideal because you're obviously using them. It's centralized, very centralized, and you're just hoping and praying that they send you the stuff back. But so far, so good for me. So that's another way.
Also, back when the UK didn't ban USDT, I used to use Qcoin, going back over a year ago now. That's another place where you can buy. I'm not sure how it is now, but it was pretty good for me over a year ago when I used to buy, and before UK done the unthinkable with USDT.
Yeah, typical. And Trade Ogre, just stay well away from. They have been horrendous. So yeah, don't use Trade Ogre at all.
Thanks.
Awesome. No worries, Gurev. I mean, it's pretty much morning for you now. No point going to sleep.
Yeah, true. And I feel even more awake now. I don't feel as tired as I was before this space started. So yeah, all good.
That's really good to know that we didn't put you back to sleep, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Gaurav said, breaking news, blockchain banter is better for you at keeping you awake than coffee, even when it's in a Wolfie mug. Bucket.
Totally.
Awesome. Zealous Swap, is there anything else you wanted to add? Or is there any questions, Levendi, for Zealous Swap?
No, I think we've gone through everything in terms of our scheduled guest speakers today, Kasway and Zealous Swap, Nacho and Wolf as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining. It's been great talking with you and getting to know all these updates and ish alpha that you guys gave us. I'm just flicking through now all the comments in the space to see if I've missed anybody. I don't think I have. Hopefully I haven't. I think I've covered every single one of you. If I haven't and I have missed you, I do have 4 eyes, so it is a possibility. Then feel free to roast the crap out of me, and I'll return the favor the next Sunday. We'll go live.
Hopefully, Crypto J will focus all his energy on you now. But I doubt it. You're an Android buddy like he is. You've got to stick together, haven't you? There's only 2 of you, that's why.
Hey, you leave Crypto J alone, man. My fellow Android user.
Oh, dear. Yeah, Zealous Swap, is there anything else you wanted to add before we move on?
There's one thing that I want to add. So basically, we have I myself believe in, if there is a viewer, if you own the liquidity, your money, no one should be able to like lock you from it. So every reward system we designed, or yield system, let's say, we designed in our decks, goes around that philosophy. So we want everything to be very liquid. So the NFC stacking system, there are no lockups period. You can just stack and unstack at any time. You will get the rewards regardless. For our infinity pools, also there's no locking period whatsoever. You can unstack anytime, redeem your tokens anytime. While you're stacked, you earn rewards. So yeah, also in our farms, we won't have lockups. Most of the protocols do, because it's a way for them to lock liquidity in the protocol for a while, let's say like for 30 days. And they guarantee that that liquidity is locked for 30 days into the protocol. It's a nice thing, but we don't like that philosophy. So we're trying to count on like incentivizing people to keep stacking at their will while rewarding them, but we won't have lookups. So they will be able to unstack anytime. Yeah, so basically that's the philosophy we're going behind after. Yeah, so your money, it's yours. No one should be able to lock you out from it.
Totally agree, man, and I absolutely love that you're doing that. I think that's a really big thing. I think, yeah, like you said, people's liquidity is theirs, and they should be able to access it anytime they want. So,
exactly.
Good move there. I think that's brilliant. Awesome. Really appreciate your time coming up and telling us about Zealous Swap. Like I said, I genuinely am really looking forward to a DEX on Kaspa. I think it will just help just so many projects and people and Kaspa out massively.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you for having me, guys.
No worries, bro.
It was a pleasure.
If you need to go to sleep and drop now, we totally understand. Don't worry.
Yeah,
don't hang
I
around.
have to. I have to.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no worries,
it's very late for me.
See you later. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Take care, mate. Appreciate your time.
He's gone already. He missed that, Levendi. He thinks you're a horrible person now because you didn't say goodbye to him. That's why.
It's all right. I'll just use a really fast network to get the message to him. It's all good.
Yeah. Do a KNS inscription. Send it over to him. Really sorry, I missed you. Go. .kas. Oh dear. Who have we got next? Is Wolf available?
Wolf, you up here, mate? How's your connection?
Wah, wah.
Uh-oh. I think we've lost him in the void.
He's probably asleep.
You know, we've been speaking in the back end. He has been moving about the house a bit, and his connection has been letting him down in parts of the house. It could be that situation. I was looking forward to hearing more about this bucket that I'm apparently receiving. I think I might have to meet the person at the door. It won't fit through the letterbox. That's for sure.
No, you honestly, you actually will. And they may have to have two people to carry it because it's so heavy. No, I'm joking, but it's awesome. Honestly,
you know what? I said this to you in the back end, but your RTK video, Rock the Kaspa video, latest one was awesome. First of all, appreciate you boys taking the time, you and Tom. Amazing stuff as always. Thanks for keeping us updated with your humor as well. It's brilliant. But going back to it, talking about Wolfie's ginormous bowl, it was funny watching your episode the other day. It did make me laugh seeing your brother Tom's hands completely engulfed in his tiny shot glass and yours struggling to close around your mug. It was insanely funny to watch. It kept me entertained. I'm not going to lie. It was great.
Oh, it was funny. We had fun shooting that one as well. I do want to just obviously say as well, big shout out to Rhubarb Media because they do all the cool editing stuff and put together our show properly. Otherwise, it would just be me and Tom with a green screen talking nonsense.
Rhubarb Media dude done all that whole editing.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. I love the editing. There was bits of it that I kept telling you about, actually. Your own video telling you back at you. Imagine how good it was.
Yeah, they do. Honestly, fantastic job on it. So yeah, that's why we look so fresh and clean. But yeah, no, that was a fun episode, man. Absolutely loved it. I was hoping. Sorry,
mate. Go on. I'll ask you after.
I was only going to say I was really hoping Wolf was available to speak to, because his project's been going fantastic recently. And again, it's one of those things similar to Ashton and Nacho Nation in general, because obviously it's not just Ashton. There's in Nacho's world, there's loads of people that work on it, so it's good. But it's similar to Wolf, how he started, converted over to, because he's obviously on Solana as well, moved over to Kaspa, and I mean he's really starting to thrive, and it's good. It's good to see. But yeah,
it's been awesome watching it as well, watching the transition and seeing a few things, how it's going in the back end as well. As obviously we're connected for a few things, all of us here, and we do talk sometimes, and seeing some of the struggles, some of the achievements, and all the sweat put in by the team and him, it's insane to see, and awesome and inspiring, to say the least, man. There's a lot of lessons that I learned, even though I don't say it out loud, but there's a lot of lessons that I learned watching all of this, and it does inspire me. So it's hats off to everyone doing it. We said it earlier with Nacho and Ashton's first time on a space, almost a year ago now, and them being where they are today. So we've got Wolf as well in that position, coming from Solana over to Kaspa and thriving even more and getting fully involved and embedded. It's awesome to see, man. And now we've got things like Kasway and Zealous Swap. Oh God, what's next?
We've got Gurav as well, putting together. I can't remember the bloody names of them now. GitHubs for.
I'm losing track of so many things I'm working on. Yeah, I think recently I updated the KIP process. I'm working on the post quantum cryptography proposal. I believe that Guy is correct that it is too early to have a technical implementation, but I think it's never too early to start the conversation, and I think that might get some people in the sidelines interested, because just having the conversation gives a lot of people confidence that don't know as much about post quantum cryptography as Shai does, even though Shai is probably correct and it's too early starting the conversation. What is the other thing I'm working on? Umbrel. I started trying to make an Umbrel app, but then somebody's already worked on it. So I want to get the Kaspa node on the Umbrel app to the App Store as quickly as possible. I've emailed them. I think that's also going to help more visibility. And there's only, I think, Monero and Bitcoin on the Umbrel hardware device right now. So having just one of 3 coins is going to hopefully have some advantages in visibility and a number of nodes on the network. And there's a couple other things I'm working on. Yeah, I'm kind of like spread thin right now, but that just shows you how interesting the technology is to me and to most people.
100%, man. And you know what I really, really love about this space, especially like a proper decentralized space. Anyone could just come along and work on it. I mean, Gurav, you didn't know about Kaspa until what, 2-3 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago, you were there.
yeah, which I didn't even know. I thought you'd already heard of it before, but obviously not. But what I really love about it is it obviously inspired you to look into Kaspa more. And now that you have, I assume you obviously like it. And again, it's tech. That's what we need to really just keep focusing on. I know we can get all culty, and I'm certainly one for that. But at the end of the day, it's just really good tech, and it works really well, and it can actually serve a purpose. And it's just awesome that you've come from like 3 weeks or 3 weeks ago, from not knowing about Kaspa, learning about it, obviously really liking it, and now you're actually putting good use to that, or your knowledge to that, which is what we need. Decentralized knowledge as well, coming together and making Kaspa even greater than it is. But I totally agree with you. I mean, Shy is obviously just a brilliant mind at what he does, and certainly with quantum computing, definitely. Oh, well, I say definitely. I haven't even got a clue what he talks about half the time, but I assume it's very clever.
Quantum resilience, correct me if I'm wrong, just from the space we had a couple of weeks back with you, Gaurav, and Shai in that invigorating conversation. I listened back to it a few times, learned quite a bit, flicking through AI and trying to understand it myself. Really, really, really technical talk. If you guys have missed that, check the highlights tab. Really worth to listen to. A couple of weeks ago, I think 2 episodes ago, something like this.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. By the way, yeah, and we have some follow-up conversations taking place on Twitter, in public, and Shai is showing his integrity and his um, personality because he's willing to do this publicly, which is how I prefer it as well. I think transparency is the foundation of a real decentralized community. So there will be I'll be evolving my proposals on GitHub, but also responding on Twitter. So there's some follow-up conversations after that X space if anybody's interested.
So good, man. And but what I was going to say is, like, as obviously as knowledgeable as Shai is with quantum resilience and things like this, I actually totally agree with you. I think it's good to at least start the conversations, get people interested in it, maybe attract new people to think about different ways of doing this. And yeah, I think decentralized knowledge can be a wonderful thing. Look at Kaspa, for example, and Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin, for example. Fantastic bits of tech that have been built using decentralized knowledge, and I love that. I think it's really good. It's a good space to be in. I wish I was anywhere near as smart to be able to actually put effort into being a developer on Kaspa, but I'm not. I'm good at talking, I think. So that's my niche. I'll stick to that one.
Chris, intelligence has many vectors. You're very intelligent in what you do. I couldn't be able to do what you do, so I wouldn't downgrade myself as much as you are doing. We're all intelligent in different fields, right? And what you do, you're great at.
Well, really appreciate that, man. Genuinely, I do appreciate that. So thank you.
Gaurav, I've got to say, you're like one of the most humblest people I've ever met. I'm not gonna lie. I just got to tell you straight up. Amazing to see, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Definitely great having a mind like you working on Kaspa to some degree. I think it's a brilliant thing. So yeah, and hopefully you can bring even more intelligent people along. You're obviously quite heavily connected into the Bitcoin world, and there's no reason two can't exist. I think Bitcoin, like I said, I think Bitcoin's a fantastic bit of tech, and I love Bitcoin. I absolutely love Kaspa as well. So yeah, two can live side by side in perfect harmony, almost.
Same here. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Awesome. And as we had this lovely conversation, Chad's joined the space, and the person that was asking about the stickers, here you go, mate. He's been replying to you there. I've pinned up in the top for Chad's Rhubarb Media, hooking you up with the stickers of accepting Kaspa payment. Get them sent to you ASAP and get them up on your establishment. Take a picture, show us as well what establishment it is. I'd love to see. Didn't specify, but I love the mystery, so would love to see. Shout out to Chad.
100%. It'd be great to if you do show us the business that you're accepting Kaspa at, we can include it on the next Rock Kaspa as well. Be fantastic. But yeah, Chad's absolute awesome guy. I love Chad, and he's actually got him and Rhubarb Media have got a new Twitter page which everyone should go and follow. It's Kaspa Commons. It's great. It's got all the usual stuff that you may have seen on Kaspa Currency page previously. but with a bit more personality from sort of Chad's perspective as well. So yeah, really, really good. Again, building in a decentralized space, it's fantastic. Anyone can. You don't need permission to do stuff. Just do it. If you think it's good for the ecosystem, do it. Put it out there. Again, this is what I love about decentralization and properly decentralized crypto, is that it is a free market of ideas. It's a completely free market. So put something out there, and the market, the free market, will tell you whether they like it or not. And I think that's the beauty for me for decentralization in crypto as well. Like truly decentralized, no CEO, no company behind anything. It's just the fact that you like, again, you don't need to ask for permission. If you think something's a good idea, put it out there, and the free market will soon tell you whether it is or not. So yeah, that's my little Kaspa rant of the day. Levendi,
Amazing, I gotta say. No, so no more questions have come through. I know what you was gonna ask me, man. We've been doing this for almost a year, and I can just like beam your mind right there. I knew what was coming. No questions have come through, but a lot of love has been coming through for all of our guests tonight, and a lot of helpful hand from Chad as well. I've been pinning things up as we've been speaking about conversation with Wolf's Kaspa accepted here video, to his Kaspa Commons account, to accepting Kaspa here, all about Kaspa. I love Chad's enthusiasm and conviction. I appreciate the work that you do, mate. And I think that's a great way to end the show, mate. It's been awesome hearing the updates and new projects from Kasway coming into Disturb, the scene with Zealous Swap expanding and dropping everything, Banana showing love and explaining everything, and as well Wolf stuck in the void while smashing it at the same time. I'm sure he'll get out of there. Yeah, it's been invigorating to say the least. Gaurav, sorry, almost butchered your name. Appreciate your time coming up here and giving us the education you've given us in the last 3 weeks, man. I'm honestly shocked. Can't believe you didn't know about Kaspa. It's only been 3 weeks and you've done so much already. Awesome to see. But I think that's a good night from me. Better stop rambling. Pass the mic over to you, Chris. See you guys next week.
Cheers, Levendi. Yeah, again, massive thank you to all the speakers that have been on the panel. Really, really do appreciate your time and your insights and knowledge. Always good. And massive thank you to the audience who have been listening, have taken their time out of their day to listen to us. Again, this show wouldn't be what it is without you guys. So really, really do appreciate that. We hope you came for the blockchain, but stayed for the banter.